Dwight kind of looked like a skinny Christian Bale.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or his skinny brother, maybe. And then, I guess that's it.
All right.
For people it kills, get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead Cast news update.
Okay, this is, should I say that one for last? Yeah, I'll save the one that's a little spoilery for last. So, Telltale teased its upcoming Walking Dead Michonne 3-episode game. It's kind of like a mini Walking Dead game. It's about the comic book Michonne who went missing for a little while in the comic because she was on a boat.
Yeah.
So you get to find out what happened.
Cool.
I assume you play Michonne. They still haven't given a release date, but they said, the publicist said, played the Michonne game today with the team. Fresh, brutal, and it's about to sneak up on you. Be ready. So hopefully soon.
Does Denai Guerrero voice it?
I don't think so. And one reason why is because I think they need to keep these separate from the TV show characters for licensing reasons. So it has to be clear that they're comics. So if they have the TV actors voicing them, maybe that would violate that boundary somehow. I don't know.
I thought, didn't Norman Reedus voice a game?
He did in the Daryl game, but that was AMC. You know, they have control over the TV characters. Kirkman has comic book characters.
Got it.
But, you know, the one we're all waiting for is Walking Dead Season 3, which will hopefully star Melissa.
Yay!
She either doesn't know or is a very good liar, but she hasn't said much. But they said there will be no news on that game, Season 3, until at the earliest after the new Michonne miniseries concludes. So it's going to be, I would say, a good, 4 to 6 months before we know anything, which is a long time.
That is a long time.
Another piece of news we already talked about, Elena had her baby.
Oh, great.
Her first baby.
Congratulations.
Yeah. She's, Elena Masterson.
Yeah.
She's 27. Elena, not the baby. Apparently she hasn't revealed any name or whether it's a boy or a girl. So I don't believe she really had one.
Karen and Jason are excellent names. Just saying.
All right. And then finally, this isn't really spoilery, but I want to talk about it a little bit. So one thing I'll say might be a little spoilery. So if you don't like anything spoilery, you should move on to the next segment. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan, do you know him? He's an actor. He's been cast as comic book villain Negan.
No. And
Negan is an awesome villain from the comics, on par with the governor, but different than the governor. And he's obviously the leader of this group that we just met. So I'm excited.
I thought Negan was going to be a good guy.
Oh, no.
Everyone was looking forward to him.
Yeah, whenever I've said I've been looking forward to this great villain Negan coming up.
No.
That was a clue.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Negan. So he's rumored to arrive in the season 6 finale, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the only thing I've seen him in, he played a character called the Comedian in the Watchmen movie. He's perfect. If you look up Negan's picture online, and then you look up Jeffrey Dean Morgan, they have the same look on their face. It's kind of this shit-eating grin, but kind of jovial and sinister at the same time.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to like Negan.
No, you're not going to like Negan at all. Oh. But he's fun. In fact, he's one of those villains in the comic that he does some really despicable things, but he's so entertaining that you're like, oh my God, what's he going to do next? And he's the one who started saying fuckity, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Oh!
So I think that traces back to him. Either that or Kevin, who wrote it in about T-Dog, just came up with it randomly on his own. But people have sent us panels in the comic of Negan saying the same thing.
Right. Oh, that's so great.
I don't know how they're going to do that in the show.
There are some villains that I love. In the show Sherlock, I love Moriarty.
Mm-hmm.
Moriarty's great. So, yeah, I do love some villains.
J.R. Ewing.
Wow.
I make all these references that like half our listeners are like, who's that?
What are you talking about?
If you were 57, you'd know. All right, that's it for the news. Let's move on to listener moans, groans, and grunts.
This first listener response comes from Beth Hoyle, who writes, I thought maybe it was boring because perhaps I was just too sleepy to get into it. But from this thread, it looks like it wasn't just me. Here's the thing. If you're going to cliffhanger us with Glenn and not come back to it for multiple weeks, you've got to make sure those episodes are compelling as fuck and about stuff we actually care about. Making us wait for something we really care about is fine, but it hammers home how much we don't care about this other stuff. It's got to be good enough to overcome that. I agree, and that's beautifully said.
Especially like that you used cliffhanger as a verb.
Yeah, exactly.
Jamila Nassar says, I was so confused about this new band of people that Daryl was running around with. Maybe the sound was messed up on my TV, but I couldn't hear what they were saying and totally missed the backstory. But what is most telling is that in the end, I didn't give a shit who they were. I did like Greenhouse Zombie Attack. That was cool.
Ugh. I watched that 3 times. I kept going back and watching that
Were you
over and
David
over and
watching
over.
it?
No, David does not wake up at 4 a.m.
Oh.
Smart man. Joy Lee writes, there were such fun and interesting looking walkers in this episode. I can't wait to see how Abe's RPGs come into play. Daryl asking the 3 questions was my high point in this episode.
She picked out the positives.
Yeah, well done.
Kendra Walter said, the only thing I liked about that episode was that it was finally over. No, just kidding. Was the possibility of that being Glenn on the radio at the end. Otherwise, slow, mundane, and basically pointless episode.
We're having a really good time talking about it. Tori Ling writes, Zombie in the Woods is a tribute walker inspired by the genius of Bernie Wrightson. Picture provided. Source, G. Nicotero on Instagram. So
yeah, check out G. Nicotero on Instagram. That's
Yes.
my advice. I'm going to do that. Kathy Lund
Tori.
says, probably the weakest of the season, I think. I didn't find the Abraham Sasha stuff very compelling. Abraham is always good for a few one-liners, but during those scenes, I was doing things like checking Facebook and going to the kitchen to get a drink. I guess I'm a little concerned that people from the show might go, oh, let's check out the Walking Dead podcasts. Let's try number 200. That's a nice round number.
wow, these people are really,
they
really
hate
negative.
us.
Wow. They seem like they're jerks.
We love you. If you made it this far, which you probably didn't.
Jose Estrada writes, I thought this episode was well balanced. Excellent dialogue between Abe and Sasha. Tension-filled moments with Daryl. Humorous moments with the always eloquent Abraham.
Nice. Jason Weaver said, since when did Abraham start talking like Eugene? He kind of always did. They both came in talking like comic book characters, in my opinion.
Yep.
The Abraham Sasha storyline was slow and pointless. I don't buy any love interest between them, and the two have no chemistry that way. Their dialogue was speechified and forced. I feel like the show has so many incidents of characters going temporarily crazy, becoming introspective, and then coming back to normal. I guess it's Abraham's turn again.
Victoria Hayde writes, I so say that's Glenn on the radio.
No, I don't think so. Ron Highmiller Jr., still so much better than Morgan's dumb episode.
Oh,
Disagree.
I watched that again for the 3rd or 4th time
Yeah.
with David. He hadn't seen it yet. And
What did he
I
think?
Cried again. He loved it. He said it's one of the best.
Oh, good.
Laura Will Swink writes, wow, Jason, I remember your Walker Stalker Con interview with Norman Reedus and how he said he wasn't into all the superhero aspects of Daryl, like his crossbow, his motorcycle, and his winged vest. Looks like in that one episode, he lost all 3.
That's interesting. That point is really interesting.
Yeah.
And maybe, maybe Norman was thinking about that, maybe he even requested it, but I didn't think about that, but it is pretty cool that he might have lost all 3 of those. And now what will Daryl be without his jacket, his crossbow, and his motorcycle?
His superpowers have all been gone. Well, he still has his hair.
And his gruffly voice. Brianna Cummings says, loose ends make my ass itch. So that said, let's find out about Glenn already.
God, I totally agree.
An email.
Okay, we got one email from Nicholas Gomez who writes, as with everyone else, I'm still irritated Glenn's fate hasn't been revealed yet. We probably won't see him again until the mid-season finale, but I'm starting to think he's dead more and more. My reasoning is because I think the show is slowly weaning us off Glenn. Haha. They stopped showing him in the show and took him off the opening credits. With a character like Glenn, you may have to slowly make him disappear so it doesn't sting as much when the truth is revealed. But who knows? Maybe he is still alive, which I hope he is. Keep being awesome, Jason and Karen. You keep being awesome, Nicholas Gomez.
How is having Glenn fall into a pile of zombies in one episode and then never showing him or his name again, slowly weaning us off of him.
Well, you know what? Here, Nicholas has a great point, though, that we have seen less and less and less of him.
I don't think
years
that's
go
what
by.
Nicholas is saying, but that
at least
could be true.
Stopped showing him in the show.
Wait, he slowly
They stopped showing him in the show.
And took him off the opening credits. That I'm not sure.
Oh, you mean that's after his gut wrenching moment of his
not sure.
guts being wrenched out of him?
Because they didn't stop showing him the show. I mean, he hasn't had as much to do as he did in season 1.
But you're right. He was still you're right.
I'm not sure. But I don't know what you're talking about because he's dead. So all right, now we have a few calls. Here's Bex Maddie.
Hi, Jason and Karen. It is Bex Maddie from San Jose.
Woo.
And it is Monday morning, and I'm here with my son. He's eating breakfast. And when I told him I was going to send a voicemail, he said, "Don't curse." Okay. And he said, "Leave the zombies down." I was like, okay. So I just wanted to thank you for your thoughts on the Glenn episode. After I listened to your podcast, I felt so much better.
Oh.
And so much cheerier. So yes, I'm also on the wagon of he's still alive. Yay.
We were just kidding. No.
I had a Enid thought though. I have a prediction that Enid somehow will come back and save somebody. So either she's going to help save Glenn or someone who is not yet in peril. Anyway, there's my thought. My zombie sound. Let's see. All right, later, y'all. Have a great week.
Thanks, Bex Maddie.
That's good. I thought we might hear from her son, but I guess he was just sitting there enjoying his cereal.
Watching his mom be a zombie.
Yeah, I think that's a good theory about Enid. I don't think she's gone for good. I think she'll be back.
You don't think she's
wolf
material?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
We'll see. Next is who?
Warren.
Hey guys, love your podcast. This is Warren from Seattle, home of the 12s. I think the reason that Rick runs so fast through the zombies is that he knows that Carol's going to be pissed if he's late for dinner. When the casserole's cold, when Judith and Carl have eaten all the cookies, and the only thing left on the table are flowers, you got to look out. And on the 2 episodes ago, did you notice when Sasha and Abraham are in the car, the warning lights on the car were on in the dash? Could this spell trouble for them? Thanks for the show, and I love listening to you guys.
Thanks, man. I think he sent that before this week's episode. But yep, it spelled a bad episode coming up for you guys.
But now they're in Patty. They're inside Patty.
Inside Patty, all snug and warm.
Yeah.
Like a womb. Okay. Thank you, Warren. That was a fun call. Here's Timothy Johnson, our old pal.
Hey, Jason and Karen. This is Timothy Johnson calling back, and I want to congratulate you on your 200th episode. Wow, that is a lot.
Thank you.
And I've been listening to your podcast since 2012, and I have heard every single one of them. But anyway, congratulations on 200 episodes.
Thank you.
And now to this episode of The Walking Dead, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was better than I didn't like last week's. I hated last week's, but this week, I really like it. And what would there would be without his crossbow? And did you notice that truck had said Patrick, and on the end of that was Vic, on the end of Patrick? I thought that was pretty cool. Well, can't wait for the last 2 episodes. Bye.
That's hilarious. I forgot, what did he say before that? I don't remember.
I started laughing too hard.
Oh yeah, that he didn't like last week's. Last week's, it was. I liked it more when I paid attention to what was going on in it. But you didn't like it that much.
No, I didn't. But I really didn't like this episode.
Yeah, to each their own. Thanks for calling in and wishing us happy 200.
Love you, Timothy Johnson from Louisiana.
Okay, now it's time for a little bit of comic talk. I'm going to join Mr. Blog and Gracie Lou in about 2 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000.
Hey everyone, Mr. Blog here again for Comic Talk. And Grace, you and I are joined, as everybody already knows because they've been listening to the podcast, by Jason.
Yay!
Hey, Jason.
Just kidding. Hello.
Now, we actually had not planned to do a comic talk because really there wasn't much, or there wasn't anything in this episode that was necessarily comic related. So the first thing I want to say is, if you have not read the comic, I know a lot of listeners just listen to the show and they keep on listening through us. You might want to avoid this one because we're getting into very deep spoiler territory.
Yeah, spoilery speculation. It's hard to say.
Exactly. Nothing but speculation in this one because really nothing happened from the comic. So, Jason, what do you think we should kick off with?
Well, do you guys have any doubt that that was Dwight and Sherry from The Saviors?
Well, I think they even said her name was Sherry.
Yeah.
They never said his name, I don't think. But yeah, that definitely the Saviors. And I think we get pre-ironed Dwight. I mean, that'd be exciting.
You know what? You're right. Like, Eric, they didn't say his name, but they did say Cher for her. Yeah. And so I'm just assuming that probably he's Dwight, and he's gonna have his face is gonna look a lot different at some point.
Yeah.
No,
that's how he gets his signature crossbow.
I love that. I hadn't even thought about the fact that was Sherry, and the fact that we earned this. You know, that he stole something, so maybe he stole Sherry from Negan and the daughter, right?
Actually, well, Karen and I went through this, and I had to watch this twice to figure out what the fuck was going on in this episode.
That was maybe the insulin they were talking about?
Yeah, I think so. But you know what, though? There was a point where the guy said, Wade, yeah. Time to call it off. The radio said, are you sure? He says, yeah, he only wanted to take this so far, and he only wants ass that's willing, you know? So,
oh my God, yes. I did not even pick up on that.
How Negan doesn't like rape, despises rape. So that would go right with that. So no doubt in my mind that these are saviors.
For the people who listen to this segment but don't know the comic, because I know there are some, how can we quickly just sort of sum up Negan?
Negan is a big, bad, tough dude who controls a gang of thugs. And what they do is they go from community to community, promising protection from the zombies and everything else for half of all their shit. So they're basically like the mafia.
Yeah.
And Negan is just this big old thug, but he's a thug with this absolute
personality.
Personality. He drops F-bombs at every single chance he gets, sprinkled in everywhere. Very charismatic, and but he's brutal. He laughs at violence and at the pain he inflicts on people. Yet he has this absolute code about him. Like Grace, you just said, he despises rape. So although he has a harem of women who used to be the wives or girlfriends of members of the Saviors, his group, then it's a really bizarre thing. And if the wives, who are now his wives, cheat with their husbands, then Negan will iron the face of the husband or boyfriend. So that's his form of punishment, how to keep them all in control. You're right that's Dwight. I didn't even, because my whole thing, I was focusing this whole time on Wade and kind of laughing about why they never showed his face.
Because maybe he was Dwight, yeah.
Or I'm just thinking he's one of the people with an ironed face.
Definitely.
Right. He probably is, yeah. And I think it's interesting. Let's say this is Dwight. And even though they mentioned Sherry, they really didn't say her name very clearly, I don't think.
Yeah.
And so it feels like they're trying to keep it a little bit of a secret from comic book readers. And I kind of like that they would do that instead of just giving them different names, because I think that shows that they have a reverence for the source material, I guess.
Oh,
I know a lot of, I'm totally changing the subject here, but I know a lot of people are speculating that Daryl might get Glenn's death, but I was thinking, I wonder if Daryl's going to get Abe's comic death. That would be kind of cool if he was shot with his own crossbow.
That. Yeah.
I think maybe I just want Daryl dead. I don't know.
Daryl,
I know you and I are in that.
Standing. Yeah.
That's your theory. Yeah. And Grace and I are always wishing for his death, much to the hatred of many, many people.
Well, did you I don't know if I told you, but during the panel that I did with Daryl in Atlanta, Norman Reedus,
that he didn't want the crossbow, and the vest,
and now he
that.
lost all that stuff.
Yeah,
no more motorcycle, no more crossbow. And
I think that was a hint that it was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. He was giving away the details.
Yeah, that's
so. One other thing about Negan is that he has a friend named Lucille.
Yeah, Lucille. That's his vampire bat. It's wrapped in barbed wire. It's a Louisville slugger, and it gets thirsty for blood. So yeah, Negan's bat. And of course, I mean, and that's why I just feel like Glenn is alive just because he needs this death. Because it is so iconic. Yes, they could switch it out with Daryl. I mean, they could switch it out with Carol. That would be one hell of a doozy for people. But
well, my prediction, because I only have a vague memory of how that went down, but there were a few characters kneeled down, and Negan kind of picked Glenn. Well, not totally at random. I think it was because he wanted to get at Maggie, maybe.
No, it was eeny, meeny, miny,
mo. It was
mo.
random. Okay, right. And so I predict that Glenn will be in that lineup, but it'll end up being somebody else that gets picked just to
That'd be
fuck
nice.
with us.
Ooh, maybe.
Well, because he does go to I think it was Glenn, and he said, "Oh hell no, not you. I'm not a racist." Or he
I
doesn't
think it
want to
was
be
Heath.
labeled a racist.
I think he said
Was
that
it Heath?
for Heath maybe first, and then I don't know. He said a couple things.
I know
but,
Michonne was there, Heath was there, Glenn,
could have been
Rick,
Michonne.
Carl.
Well, and another thing with the kneeling, you mentioned the kneeling down. That was another thing. I think maybe Dwight and Sherry were saying something about we're done kneeling. They said that in the show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another hint.
They gave a lot of hints about the kneeling. Sherry said people will do anything for safety. They talked about what you have to earn, your keep, all this stuff.
Sure.
It's obviously them. And plus, we know they've hired Jeffrey Dean Morgan to play Negan.
Oh, I love that. I'm so happy about that. Well, and also, season 5, episode 1, the whole trough scene was such a projection or hint at, Glenn being on his knees with a bat being swung right behind his head at least 2 different times. Plus Glenn finding the bat later on at the Shirewilt
the only
neighborhood.
Thing I wonder is if, let's say it is Glenn that gets the same treatment as he did in the comic, dies the same way, then are they doing this thing now as a way to, would that work to sort of soften the blow because we already got used to the idea of him being dead? Or would it just be cruel to make us think he's gone, then give him back only to take him away again so soon?
I think the latter.
Yeah.
I think the latter.
Seems cruel.
I think it is a little sadistic of them to do that, but at the same time, I think people have. Also, I want to remind that in No Way Out, during that entire arc, we actually were really, in the comics, we were really worried about Glenn because he even made a point of saying, "I have a bad feeling about this, like I'm not going to make it out." He was really freaking out during that entire arc, thinking that he was going to die. So I kind of enjoy that. So was I, and I know, so was I. I really was. I thought that was it for Glenn, and
I was in denial.
Sure. But I think that even in the comics, they teased the idea of him possibly being able to die. And it was a sadistic thing that issue 100, boom, Negan shows up and that's the end of Glenn in the most horrifically spectacular way.
Yeah.
So I think they are very much in keeping with the comic with that as well.
I miss Glenn. I miss comic book Glenn.
Yeah, me too. So
best.
do I. I really do. Herschel's a dud. The baby just sits there, doesn't do much. So the other thing that I think we could talk about with Comic Talk related is, of course, Abraham and Sasha is a bit of a similarity to Abraham and Holly.
Boo.
Now, Holly is already dead. And, of course, it's the relationship with Abraham and Holly that breaks up Rosita and Abraham. And then eventually, Eugene's going to have to bite Dwight's balls after he kills Abraham. I don't know, whatever. But
I don't know if that's really a necessary.
Are you kidding me? That was a classic Walking Dead comic moment.
On the podcast today, we were talking about how it would be, a bummer for Rosita to get left, and Karen was like, yeah, and there's not very many guys around. Like, who would she go to? And I was like, Eugene. And she's like, oh, yeah, right. Ha, ha, ha. I don't know if she listens to this part, but if she does, hi.
Well, we know
I'm
she
sure
doesn't
she
listen
does
to
not.
it at all.
She doesn't even listen to any of it. Yeah, that's true.
I love that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm a little bummed about that because I was really hoping that Sasha would be the new Andrea.
Exactly. Right? Yes.
Not the
and I really
Holly.
like Sasha, and I'm not a big Abe fan, so even if she wasn't going to go for Rick, or Rick go for her down the line, I don't like the Abraham Sasha pairing.
No, it doesn't make sense. And I don't think this is totally feels like we're talking about 90210 or something, but I don't feel like Rick and Jesse go together either.
No.
They don't fit. I would rather see Rick with Sasha or Michonne.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are definitely talking a lot about the Rick Michonne connection, and I guess I don't know. I love them in the comic as bestest of friends.
Yeah.
I really love their relationship.
It's a great
in the comic.
relationship, yeah.
And I feel they've done a good job of...
It's a lot like you two.
Kind of. Yeah, she's pretty badass with the katana, and I tend to eat people's throats out. This does happen. But no, I do love that relationship with the two of them. So I'd hate to see that kind of ruined. I think it is good to have this sort of platonic relationship in the show and in the comic. I miss Andrea. I mean, not the show Andrea, the way they did her, that screwed it up, but it would be nice to have somebody like that in the show. And I think at this point, Sasha would be the best fit. If she would just, I don't know, be a little more cheerful than she is.
She's getting more cheerful.
She's getting more cheerful. You're right. And really, she is.
I mean, think about comic Andrea. She was moping around wearing Dale's hat forever.
You're absolutely right. You're right.
Not forever, but for a while there. Okay. You guys have anything else?
No.
Nope, I don't think so. I'm looking for, the only thing I liked really about this episode was all this stuff they did drop about what's to come, and I'm looking forward to it.
So, did you not like the episode very much?
No. We
Did you bash
it lowest to the series. Yeah, we bashed it harder than we've ever bashed before.
Did you say the series?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow,
man. Interesting. Well, I look forward to listening to it. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that. I kind of enjoyed it. How about you, Grace?
Yeah, I liked it. I wasn't real big on some of the Sasha Abe stuff, but I liked surprisingly, I liked the Daryl.
I like the Daryl stuff too. It surprised me. It's Daryl. And now that it's Dwight and Sherry, holy shit. Now I'm really excited about it. Really, you didn't like this? All right. I can see that.
It hasn't been confirmed.
Let me know
too
what you think
excited.
once you've heard it.
I will, absolutely. But until then, back to your own show, man, so you can beat up the episode that both Grace and I enjoyed. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right, we're back to the regular programming, and it's time for Next Week on The Walking Dead.
Next week on The Walking Dead, Glenn is live. Just kidding. That's
You
not
say
what's
that
going to
every
happen. I know. It doesn't get old. Next week on The Walking Dead, episode 7. The title is Heads Up. And things are going to get crazy. Listen to this description. Things are quiet in Alexandria. Briefly. I have actually 2 descriptions. One's from like the wiki and one's from AMC. I think that one was the AMC one. The one from wiki is Alexandria is finally able to begin pulling itself back together. Peace is embraced between the 2 groups. So it sounds action-packed, right? It sounds like not another slow.
You never know.
You never know. But except I did see a little Next Week on The Walking Dead video.
Yeah.
And it was Rick and Michonne talk to Morgan. And he gave them his all life is precious pitch. And Michonne's like, well, maybe not anymore, dude.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah. Oh,
For
sure.
And maybe they'll show more of what's going on with his captive. The wolf guy.
The wolf guy. Right. And maybe they'll get into some sort of bow stick fight. Rick, Michonne, and Morgan, all 3 of them together.
Katana versus bow stick versus handgun.
That is probably what will happen.
I think I know who'd win.
No.
See, I've got my replica Python over there, 357, up by the picture.
Scary.
Yeah.
That you got through. You got through TSA.
I'm
by
not
the
a
way.
gun person, but I was holding that the other day, and I'm like, if it was the ZA, I'd want this. This is my zombie killer. I started to feel kind of badass.
Yeah.
Jenny's like, put that away.
Let me ask you: if somebody came into your house, would you like grab that and point it at them?
Just anybody, or like a bad person?
Well, not
like my mom comes
like
over.
The house cleaner comes over.
Yes, I would.
You'd have an extra
Good
mess to
idea.
clean up.
Thanks for all the ideas.
You're welcome.
Great ideas.
I'm full of them.
So here we are. We have Melissa Mr. Blog, Karen, David, and moi. And we're all here because we're about to play Cards Against Humanity. Well, except Karen had a cold, but we see her on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
We should be periscoping this.
And I just thought that we should mark the occasion because we're coming up on our 200th episode. And so, and we're all here. So I thought, and plus we're not getting any of the big actors on like we did for our 100th because they're all busy filming some show or something.
I'm sorry, sir. I am sitting
You're
right
not
across
on
the
the
table
show
from you.
yet.
I'm kidding.
No, I meant I tried to get Andrew Lincoln and Norman
well.
Reedus and Robert Kirkman.
Oh.
He doesn't have the excuse of being
But you
filming
have
the show.
two better, Melissa and me.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes right down to it, what has
I stuck myself in there.
been the most rewarding about doing this stuff is the friendships I've made, anyways. And you guys have noticed we haven't been doing as many interviews lately. I'm going to try to do more of that, but what's most important to me is, as far as the podcast is concerned, is just hanging out with people that I like to hang out with and talking about the show.
Right. I feel like we should be cheersing right now. Cheers, man.
So anyway,
just a brief
I think
cheers
it's
to
amazing that we got to 200 because I remember when we first started doing the podcast and I thought I saw we were on like episode 7 and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe we got 7 of these made. And I saw some podcast, I think it was on Star Trek, that had 100. And I'm like, nerds, you made it to 100. And how could anyone do that? And now here we are at 200. So,
well, okay, I'm going to chime in, Mr. Block, here, folks, for those of you who couldn't tell. Grace, I think, was the first one of our little collective who contacted you guys and befriended you guys and ended up becoming friends with both you and Karen very early on. Mm-hmm. I think I was probably the second one in terms of this little collective. You had me on. You took a weird chance with me and invited me on for episode 63, Game of Microphones, season 2 of Game of Thrones.
Duncan.
Hey, Duncan.
Go bossy. What's up, guys?
Hi, Duncan. Hi, Dalton.
I want to go ahead and continue then with my little emotional little moment here that Duncan interrupted. No, so episode 63, you took a chance. You had me on for the Game of Thrones, season 2 episode, Game of Microphones. And you, me, Karen, the three of us, and then our families very quickly thereafter ended up becoming friends. That's really freaking awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
And that was April 20th, 2012.
Wow.
Oh, 2012.
420. Wow.
Yeah.
And then Duncan, when I met you, it was in Atlanta, 2013, right?
Yeah.
October 31st, 6 p.m. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Probably would have been about November 1st.
Did you get my letters?
And
it was like 7:30 a.m. I met you and Karen at volunteer orientation.
That's right. You got a picture. We just saw it. But just the look on your face, you have such a warm, welcoming face for someone who I know has probably lots of guns at home. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Taser, bats.
No, seriously though, I just like right away I was like, oh man, I know I'm gonna like this guy, and
that's why he can afford to smile.
Yeah, and it's so awesome that you ended up being on the podcast with Melissa over here, and that I got to know both of you guys. And
oh man, I was
totally
super
grateful.
Stoked about that. I was a listener before we even met, so for me to start out as a listener and at the end of 2012 and end up being on the show a couple of years later, it was crazy. It's awesome.
Yay.
It's an honor.
Yeah. And you were first time I met you. James said, "Oh, this is Melissa," and I was like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." And you had a similar, like, just a warm, open look on your face. And then right as you walked away, he said, "Yeah, she plays Clementine." I was like, "What?" Oh my god, I would have been so much more nervous saying hi. And then the first panel that Karen and I ever did was yours.
That was amazing.
It was really cool.
You guys were
and
so awesome.
It set me off on the whole panel thing on just the right note because I've done about 100 of them literally since then.
I thought that you guys had already. I thought you guys were like professional panelists. You were both so comfortable with like talking and asking questions, and I was like, oh shit, these people know what they're doing.
You're used to it from the podcast.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah.
helped,
But see, I didn't even know that then. I didn't know nothing.
Karen, how was doing it panels in Atlanta this year?
Oh,
this
you?
year it was great, but honestly, I tell you, I remember the Melissa panel. That was a great panel.
Mm-hmm.
It was so
And
good.
yeah, it's so fun to do it, and we're so privileged. But the coolest thing is the moment I stepped off the stage after doing the Abraham's Army one, and Kelly came up to me and introduced herself. She's a listener. And that was such a neat moment. And so getting to meet the listeners, it's really what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, the highlight of Atlanta, I think we already talked about this, but I did an Andrew Lincoln panel, an Enormous Reedus. What's the guy's name? Enormous Reedus panel. And Chandler Riggs. And I swear the highlight was that meetup with the listeners, at the bar.
Yep.
Oh, I was so mad I couldn't make it to that.
Yeah, you got to make one of these, dude.
That was a good
Maybe
one.
we'll do one in New Jersey.
That was fun.
I grabbed Jason's crotch.
That was not the
So
highlight.
did I.
And never let go.
Do you remember the look on my face when I saw you as Rick Grimes?
I don't no.
I had to do a double take. because I didn't even recognize you.
Shit. I like the cosplayers like Erica. They're like, oh, dude, he can cosplay. That's kind of what it felt like. Anyway, we shouldn't keep our loved ones waiting. They're waiting in the other room to play Cards Against Humanities. But
I don't know why I think that's funny. They're waiting in the other room. That made me giggle.
I just wanted to mark this occasion and thank all of you guys for being a part of this.
Yay,
I couldn't ask for a better crew.
Oh my God! Thanks
I
to
love
all of
you
guys.
guys.
We love
Cheers,
you.
love you too.
I love
You
all you
guys
guys. Yay!
Thanks, guys.
Quick question for Karen. Karen, did you think that you'd see the day where you guys hit episode 200?
No.
Okay. Well, and on behalf of your minions over here, both Jason and Karen, congratulations! You've made it.
Congratulations.
To episode 200.
Yay.
That is spectacular.
Epic-sode.
I mean,
200.
Epic-sode.
And Karen, I did end up getting the ice cream cake, and I'll save you a piece.
Oh,
Yay!
God. You didn't just say ice cream
Ice
cake.
cream cake.
Wait, we're going there right now.
Yeah. Duncan, you and Erica get on
Cole
a
just got
plane,
better.
red eye,
Yeah,
right
we'll be about
now.
8 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll still be some.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Love you guys.
Love
Guys,
you.
thanks.
Bye.
Congratulations.
What does it mean to live for the common good? Introducing the Garrison Institute presents The Common Good, the brand new podcast from the Garrison Institute, a leading not-for-profit organization exploring the intersection of contemplation and engaged action in the world. Hosted by me, Jonathan F.